Welcome to Positive Steps 10. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Angeline Wimbush, a licensed Master of Social Work. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a stepmother, and a social worker. I'm a life coach and an author. I founded Positive Steps 10 in 2016, and my primary focus was on stepmoms because I was very passionate about the stepmother role at that time. And I continue to be an advocate and passionate encourager of stepmoms. I also expanded to include individuals that just anyone who needed to cultivate self-care in their life, to find some sense of peace, serenity, to be able to manage their emotions, deal with their emotions, to heal and talk about things that are difficult for them. Along the way, I have included services such as a podcast, PS10 radio, workbooks, journals, merch, and now a self-care life coaching program. There is something for everyone at PS10. We are committed to sharing information and resources to support your self-care journey. In this video, I want to talk a little bit more about how mindfulness can improve and support you on your self-care journey. Going out with friends, having cocktails after work, going on vacations, these are all beautiful ways to have self-care practices, right? But they also cost money and they can be time consuming. You need to plan it most of the time. And it may or may not require you to pack certain items or dress for a certain occasion, or you may have to pick and choose who to be around, different things like that. But for Positive Steps 10, we want to encourage you to dig deeper and do the inner work of cultivating mindfulness. And that is the part of self-care that we are focused on the most. That's why we include our journals and workbooks, because we know that there's more to life than just having fun and just being socially engaging. I mean, that's a part of it too, right? We want to be around people we enjoy, who bring us joy, who will be real with us and kind of set us straight. We want to be around our friends, our family, people who make us laugh, make us feel good. They root for us, they support us. That is definitely a part of self-care. Knowing who to be around, knowing who you can talk to, knowing who's going to be in your corner. But mindfulness takes us a little bit deeper, and we've been trained in mindfulness-based stress reduction over the past 4 to 5 years. The thing about mindfulness is it helps us to realize that we have a choice. We can choose to look at things a certain way. We can choose to accept what we are going through. We can choose to accept how our feelings are showing up. We can accept to become aware of what's going on in our bodies and in the environment around us. We can choose our response to those things, whether we want to directly respond or take a minute to ourselves, pause, and then respond. Maybe we want to contemplate some different choices in our responses instead of a quick reaction or attaching to those situations or feelings. We are not our feelings. Our feelings are not facts. All of the things that we've heard of in pertaining to managing your feelings and learning how to regulate yourself are true, and mindfulness helps us get there. Learning how to communicate in a mindful way, we need to pause before we respond. Everything doesn't require for us to quickly react. Sometimes you do need to react, and that's just a natural human instinct. We are humans, we're not robots. However, you want to be able to live life where you're not regretting things, you're not having to apologize for everything that comes out of your mouth, all your actions aren't miscommunicated or misunderstood. People aren't assuming things, they actually have heard directly from you how you're feeling or what's going on or what your choice is. So just developing patterns of learning how to mindfully communicate. How are the words you're saying and the things that you're doing communicating to other people? Is it serving you? Is it causing you to do more work? Is it causing damage to the relationship? Is it even necessary at that time? Or should you give yourself some space and room to think about things and reply later? It also requires for you to take a perspective on things. What perspective do you have right now on what's going on with you? What perspective do you have right now on the situation that's currently happening? Are you able to acknowledge that perspective? Are you hiding that from yourself? Like, no, I'm not thinking that way, or no, I didn't feel that way, but you really are. But you're trying to backtrack because you've already responded or reacted in a certain way. If you use the pause, which is a mindfulness term for just stopping, take in what's going on, become aware, ask yourself some questions and notice, where are you feeling this in your body? What are the emotions that you would put vocabulary to? Acknowledge what is going on here and how you're feeling and who's impacted. And then you can make a better response from there. Acknowledge other people's perspectives at that time. Maybe it's not being perceived as you thought. Maybe they do have a different point of view than you do. Mindfulness requires you to have the courage to look at what's going on head on. You're not avoiding it. You're not distracted. You're not checking out. You're checking in with yourself, checking in with your emotions, checking in with your thoughts, checking in with your body sensations. Because that stomach ache, that pain in your side, that throbbing in your lower extremities, that headache, that pounding headache, that blurred vision, that fast heartbeat, that's trying to tell you something. And it's okay. But you have to notice. Because if you don't notice, you don't know that you need to do something different. You don't realize the impact it's having on you. You just keep re-entering into those stressful situations. A part of the awareness piece is learning how to journal, learning how to get deeper with yourself, ask yourself those difficult questions, write it out, put down your ideas, brainstorm your choices. This can all be done in workbooks. It can be done in journals. Explore yourself. Set aside time to get into, what are my goals this week? What are my goals for this month? What have I accomplished so far? What do I need? What do I want? Just simply identify what it is. It doesn't have to be a list, but something about pen and paper is something about getting it out, not just talking it through, because sometimes you can talk about things, but then you don't follow through because it's not on paper and you don't have the reference to look back at it and be like, what was I thinking? Or where did this come from? But if you actually go through a workbook, such as the ones that we offer at PS10, you can actually write down those ideas, organize those ideas, figure out, what do you really need to pursue right now? What can wait? You can reorder them. You don't have to be so rigid. You can cross things off. You can design things. You can decide that, you know what, I can't even figure out what I want right now, so I'm going to just draw something, or I'm going to doodle, or I'm going to do something creative. Get out of your comfort zone and make plans with and for yourself. Our workbooks offer you the opportunity to cultivate self-love in this process. And once you develop a routine of visualizing what you want, manifesting what you feel that you need and what you want in your life, you'll learn to just be grateful for the little accomplishments that you've made, the things that you already have, even before you even start working on new goals and new accomplishments. You will actually be living in the self-love that you truly desire. Affirm yourself by writing out your affirmations, meditating on them. Write out your prayers. Write out things that your heart desires. How will you do that? How will you pursue those things? Writing down the different steps that you would take in order to accomplish the goals and to achieve the things that you're looking for. Giving yourself grace and self-compassion by allowing yourself the time, the space, and the tools to cultivate your self-love and your self-care are ultimate. At Positive Steps 10, we know that you can get there as long as you're doing the work. Listen to our podcast, PS10 Radio, for more informative and motivating information. And as always, be the best you that you can be, one positive steps at a time. Peace.